All right, well, we are
I don't even
live.
know what that top. Oh, we're live. Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. So, big news. You're going to have a new addition to the family sooner than later. And I know this is last minute, but Mr. Westford, you have kind of gone, semi viral on the X space. And correct me if I'm wrong, did it kind of start off with this tweet ban homosexuality in all 50 states?
No, it was a little bit earlier than that, maybe like a week or two. I don't even know what tweet it was. There's something about atheism. I just tweet these shower thoughts, and for whatever reason, the algorithm picked one up, and it got like 3,000 views, and then everything after that was getting two, three, five. I got one tweet with like 44,000. So whatever reason, the algorithm just suddenly gave me a wave, and I decided to just take that opportunity. Uh, I just I just sat there and tweeted for like an hour, just saving all the drafts, and I just schedule them, throw them up there, slowly expanding the repertoire. Started with atheists, then put in the LGBT stuff since it's June. Started tweeting about women, so just gonna keep doing polemics about stuff. That's what it seems it likes. So
Yes, it does seem like it likes that. And yeah, I did notice that you're mentioning you're kind of exposing the gay agenda and at the same time exposing the atheist agenda. Would you say that those two topics are in bed with each other?
oh yeah, oh very much in bed. Yeah, they should not be allowed to do whatever they want in the bedroom. My opinion.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. So, let me ask you this. This one tweet was, I guess, the first one I saw, and I guess it was the ban homosexuality in all 50 states. And you got a lot of retweets and a lot of comments too. I wanted to ask you if you could expand on that. Uh, is this a plea to politicians to ban homosexuality?
Yeah, it could be that. If nothing else, I want it to help in the vibe shift of showing that people are fed up with the LGBT rainbow rainbow fascism, because everybody sees through it now. Everybody sees that this is just top down corporate Jewish propaganda
Mm-hmm.
to depopulate us, to end people's lines. And the tons of gays are seeing through it now. I'm getting dozens of homosexuals DMing me, and here I'll read you a couple of them. But thanks
Sure.
for everything you're doing. Everything you say is true. There are some folk who don't want to shine a light on what most of us have known for a long time. Every homosexual, every sodomite I've met was sexually abused when they were young. That's the root of homosexuality. It's a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
It's also why homosexuals make up the largest percentage of pedophiles. People
Mm-hmm.
who are sexually abused often do the same thing to others. And I can read another guy. Hello, I would like to apologize on behalf of LGBT pride. It's disgusting and I feel terrible for making all the straight people be exposed to it. I hate FAGS like me. Which
Mm-hmm.
one thing I noticed is that a lot of these homosexuals are like way more homophobic than I am. Like if I was talking to a gay person, I don't have a problem with most words.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest thing I'd have a problem with is like blasphemy.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't go around and like intentionally call them an FAGS to like inflame them.
No, yeah, that's
Don't
not.
inflame the flamers.
Yeah, yeah, it's too low tier. It's too. Yeah, I'm not. That's not my vibe either. I'm not. I. I I want to be able to provoke in a way that will raise questions within them and
Yeah.
hopefully lead them to not being gay anymore. So yeah,
Right.
when
Well, the propaganda is so strong that just saying that you have like a question about the agenda, then you're a bigot. So you
to
can't even get to like an insult. It's just like, hey, why are all the corporations pushing this? And then, oh, you're a bigot.
yeah, yeah, that's a funny thing too. They're so down with the billionaires at the same time. These big corporations are pushing a lot of this gay propaganda, and I actually had a very very the same experience with me kind of exposing also the gay agenda. I've had so-called gays write to me and say the exact same thing, that gay is a trauma response, that they're working through their trauma themselves, the ones who message me, of having been sexually abused as a child, and yeah, that was a first-hand testimony from a so-called gay person who's woken up to, yes, gay is wrong. I don't, it's let's work towards not being gay.
Yep.
And yeah, and the same thing with the pedophilia. We hear time and time again now that these gay couples, married couple, I'm trying to do the parentheses here, who have adopted babies. We're hearing right now more and more that they are sexually abusing these adopted children, which is
I got one gay that messaged me saying that in their community it was an open secret that a gay married couple had adopted a 14-year-old boy and they were molesting him. They never got caught. People never, I guess, I don't know if it wasn't motivated enough or they just didn't get proof to bring it to authorities, but he said everybody knew.
and I imagine this happening so much, and it just goes unspoken because it's it brings upon so much shame. People aren't going to want to be speaking up about this.
You
Unfortunately,
can find a lot of interviews by kids who grew up with two dads, two moms, and they're very outspoken about being against homosexuality, not allowing people like their parents, usually not biological parents, from doing what they're doing, not robbing kids in the cradle, taking them away from their actual mothers. Like, yep, I love these two people that raised me, but they shouldn't have been allowed to do that. And I'm gonna speak out to try to prevent this from happening to other people.
totally. Yeah, and the same goes for people that have woken up. I mean, there's thousands of testimonies online that people can look up, from, you can say new age to Christ, gay to Christ, things like this, and you'll find time and time again of many people that have kind of woken up out of their gay hypnosis and, seen the light. And I mention that sometimes when I'm getting attacked by these gay people that are saying, no, we were born that way, or, we can't help it, and all these things. Like, well, just go. If you're not going to take it from me, go watch a gay person
Right.
online.
Like, even if we granted that you're born, I mean, that's a big thing you're granting, that you're born with some proclivity. Um, they can never actually differentiate like a urge and an identity. They try to collapse your behavior and your impulses into identity, and that's a huge problem. And that's why they always say like, "Oh, I can't believe you're bringing up murder. How is that?" Like, okay, well, gluttony, lust, whatever you want to say, pride. Like, there's a person that grew up with fat parents and they have a habit of eating way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Is that were they born in it with that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that nature? Is that nurture? Do they have no choice, no agency? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, and it's an old and tired talking point too. I think it's kind of over and done with. I mean, it just seems really outdated. And when I hear somebody say that, no, we were born that way, it seems, well, you guys already said that enough, and now it's a blatant lie. At least that's kind
Right.
of.
So you're saying it's genetic?
Yeah.
Okay, well, like that's an empirical claim. What is the genetic factor you can
Totally.
can you
Yeah.
isolate that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this is why I wanted to talk to you about some of this stuff, because as you know, I also like to expose some of this gay agenda, and now being Pride Month, it's relevant right now, this conversation. And as you
Yep.
know, people don't speak up so much about this topic, especially because they are not wanting to take the criticism, but they're going to get called obsessed with gay people. They're going to be called
Yep.
gay themselves. And those are really like the main two comebacks that.
Right. So wait, I thought it wasn't an insult. I thought it was something to be proud of. But you're saying I'm gay? Like, so
Yeah.
you're saying it's an insult.
Yes. It's, and it is an insult. It's offensive to be considered gay or to be called gay, that's an offensive thing, because we are human, and gayness is a very dehumanizing act. And yeah, so that's why they use it as an insult. And we can kind of try and put ourselves in their shoes. They're thinking, this person's so homophobic, the last thing they want to be called is gay, so I'm going to call them gay, so. But for me,
yeah, I do that stuff with atheists all the time. I did that with a white supremacist recently who was a pagan. He was saying that I was Jewish because I follow Christ. I'm like, that's the most Jewish thing I've ever heard.
Totally.
You're not even white if you don't follow Christ. Just so you know, you're a Jew. You're not white.
Yeah, man, I love how you take the words and you flip them around, you invert things, and you mirror the blatant hypocrisy and everything. You do it much better than I do. And I know a lot of these tweets, they're like hit piece. They're like short, concise, precise, cutting, little sentences. But I know that you're a very deep person and that you could expand a lot on some of these. So this one that you tweeted, ban homosexuality in all 50 states. When I read that, I read it as, this is a plea to men, the politicians, to get their act together and do something about protecting the women and children from all the gay propaganda that has we've just been bombarded with it here in the West, here in America. And I wonder what that would look like. Like, where do you think we could start by banning it? I
mean, get rid of the farce that is gay marriage. Just dissolve all those unions. I mean, that's a pretty new thing. Obama just kind of ad hoc threw that in at the end of his administration, right?
Totally. That's the first thing I usually go to. Also, ban gay marriage. Mm-hmm.
And then it would be bring it back as a mental illness. It was classified as one for many years, and it was just a political thing that they got rid of that. There wasn't any scientific research. And I think I've had gay people message me saying that it's a tragedy that there isn't any scientific research being done on trying to actually find empirical evidence how to help these people. I've been pointing them to Father Seraphim Rose, Saint Seraphim Rose now, because he was a homosexual who repented. And I've gotten one or two people saying, like, I wish he got married and showed me that he could be a heterosexual or whatever. It's like, but he repented of the sin. He got rid of the homosexuality in his heart, and he happened to become a monk, but that was his calling. I know people who have gotten married to women, and they'd be like, oh yeah, but they're still actually gay because you're always gay. So that he probably is watching gay porn while he's married to his wife and has kids. I'm like, okay, you're never gonna see any evidence or anything to the contrary, dude.
That is tragic that there's not enough funding in helping these people overcome their mental illness. And it's actually the complete opposite, right? They're fostering gayness. Yep. And hey, 1 second. Hey, buddy. Can you go back with Mama for a little bit? I'll be out soon, okay? Love you. Yeah, they they cultivate, pride, right? To be proud about something that really you should be ashamed of. And I noticed that you started tweeting this more and more, and we just said this, but I talk about this often on social media, and I made a reggae song, the gay propaganda, and I think it's a crucial topic from where I am. I mean, my wife just told me yesterday she went to a Whole Foods in the city, which is about 30 minutes from us. And as you know, Whole Foods is a pretty posh supermarket. And she told me that I said, how was it? It's a whole different vibe down there, right? And she said, yes, everybody looks gay. And my wife is she's not quick to I'm the one that's quick to criticize and condescending and arrogant and all this. My wife is more thinking about the well-being of people and she's great. She's involved in the church and the people.
A virtuous woman.
She knows the names of their children, and she's worried about the concerns of others. So for her to say that, it's a big deal. And of course I've influenced in the sense of, hey, there's a problem here. We don't want our children exposed to this. And
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a societal danger. Obviously, not like it's the moral fabric, but like having all these weak, low testosterone people that are making themselves weaker through this sin. I mean, it makes a nation easier to conquer.
totally. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does. And it's just so inverted. So for me, it's like, I'm going to keep, I made the gay propaganda reggae song, and every time I post it, it does really well. And that tells me that, this is actually a crucial message, and, a lot of people are responding positively towards it. Of course, I'm going to get the backlash. And at this point, I mean, God knows my heart. God knows who I am. People calling me gay, people saying that I'm obsessed with this. It's like, with social media, it's a totally different deal. I could look at your Twitter and say, hey, this guy's obsessed with gay people. But the reality is we're highlighting a massive issue right here. And the whole social media thing is like, hey, we're trying to build a business. We're trying to, connect here. So I'm
trying to
keep
get
posting.
followers on my X so I can swing them over to my YouTube and swing them over to EWBSX so I can grow my business, make an income, provide for my family.
Yes.
And it is a good positive message I'm doing. It's polemical. Like I'm posting in a way that's going to get traction, and the algorithm is rewarding that. So it's a self-perpetuating virtuous cycle there. But with the propaganda, I've had lots of gays saying like, yes, we need anti-gay propaganda. Like the signal is so loud for the gay propaganda that for any noise to break through that's contrary is like a big deal. And they're saying they want, and they're saying, can I come on your show? I want other gays to see that there's gays who are trying to be normal, who are trying to overcome this, trying to tell them it's not your identity. And I think a part of the propaganda is like, you can watch videos of gay choirs saying they're coming for our children, and most gays come from sexual abuse or neglect, usually from an uncle, a father. Could just be family turmoil. The family breaks apart, parents divorce, whatever. It could be a couple different variables, but it's pretty much always some kind of abuse or neglect.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there's another factor that's like emergent. It's the propaganda.
Yeah.
Tells people to, you're in college, experiment, read these books. It tells you that your identity is fluid, and you got to like do different things to figure it out and figure out who you are. You got to self-realize, actualize. So maybe you are gay, maybe you're bi, maybe you're trigender pyrofox. I don't know. You got to just try it and figure it out. Maybe you'll like it. Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, read these books about it. Learn how your mind was altered to believe that only heterosexuality and things, and you're not open-minded enough, and you need to know all these pronouns or whatever it is, right? So totally.
The irony is that the people falling for the propaganda become extremely closed-minded.
Mm-hmm.
They have zero tolerance to hear a contrary opinion.
Yep. Yeah. And propaganda works. It really does.
Most people, even people that know about propaganda, can see it in one dimension. Like, oh, that's communist propaganda. Okay, you can identify that. But like another propaganda, gay propaganda, just they absorb it without any filter, without any recognition.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a shame too. Especially like guys, I'm a millennial, like guys my age, white, American. I would say the majority of them are very pro-gay and have taken on all these talking points. People that I know that are very intelligent too have just adopted all of these gay talking points, and in the name of I'm so open-minded and chill and such a good person, I accept and affirm all these gay identities and ideologies.
It's the zeitgeist pushed down from on high that tells us that the virtue that our society has to aim towards. We all have to collectivize and point ourselves in this direction of open-mindedness, of acceptance, of tolerance. But we're not going to talk about how we're closed-minded and intolerant to the opposite. We're not going to. It's not the marketplace of ideas. It's if you disagree, the rainbow fascism is going to clamp down on you.
Yep. Yeah, and I think right now, like, it's a crucial moment to be talking about this. Like you said, a lot of these gays are wanting more anti-gay propaganda. Um, they're, they realize that they've been, victimized by this gay propaganda, and they want out of it. So yeah, yeah, totally. The
And
propaganda
like, good
piece.
on them for escaping the containment because they're not only overcoming their own passions, their own impulses, their own brokenness, their own crippled heterosexuality. They're escaping the containment of society worldwide propaganda telling them to indulge, telling them to give into the passion. So it's commendable, very commendable that they're able to see through it and then try to dig their way out.
Yes. Yeah, that is commendable, and yeah, I applaud all of those that are doing that, and I applaud anybody really who seeks the truth and is willing to speak it out, despite the backlash that they'll get. Um, I'm gonna scroll up your. Okay, here's one. Gay people are not real. This is a tweet of yours. Gay people are not real. The burden of proof is on those claiming gay people are real.
So that was me blending the atheist and the gay stuff together because that's identical to what an atheist says. Every atheist bot that just has the same exact like programming will say the same thing. Just insert God there. But also, I'm not lying. I mean, it's you could call it rage bait, but like none of my tweets or stuff I couldn't defend and like show you the rationale behind. Like I think homosexuality, gayness is just a crippled heterosexuality. Like it's like they have a broken leg. Like your identity isn't broken legged person. Like you're not a gay person. You're a person that struggles with impulses.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. So yeah, gay people are not real. Like you would. I mean, you would say like a gay person doesn't exist. I mean,
Right.
it's that's
Because I'm
not
not I'm
essentially
not
who.
gonna I'm not willing to collapse your identity down into your impulses. Like we've all had the thoughts that like demonic logismoi thoughts being put into your head by demons to hurt like
Lust.
simple stuff. You're driving in the passenger you're in the passenger seat of a car, your window's down, you've got your phone in your hand. You have an impulse to just throw it out the window. Like I don't want to do that, but you have like the urge. Or like you're on a balcony or somewhere up high and you get the urge to jump. You're not suicidal. You're not you're not struggling with the dark thoughts or depression, but you something inside you have that impulse like I could just jump. That you're like, where'd that come from? So like you are not that, and like that's where like the atheism comes in because atheists are materialists, nominalists. They think any thought is a product of your own brain chemicals, your own mind. Well, they
Their
don't believe in a
mind
mind.
generating that.
Yeah, so they actually don't believe in a mind. They believe that your brain is just matter, and all of your thoughts have to be generated from the matter.
Yes.
So any thought impulse, anything like that, is production from in here. So if you had the impulse to jump, they must say, "Oh, I'm suicidal." They can't. They don't have the capacity to see, "Oh, a demon is trying to afflict me right now."
Yeah, yeah, totally, and that's super important that they get rid of that idea also that their brain is generating these thoughts and things, and this will lead to thing. This is why it's led to them defending pedos,
Yeah.
and just terrible, awful things that have come out of this idea that your brain is generating the thoughts.
There was one tweet I did that the LGBT community is like their sole goal is to defend pedophiles or something like that. And as soon as I put that, I made a bet with my friend. Like someone within the first like 20 minutes is going to post, "What about Trump? Oh, you love Trump, don't you?" Like I know somebody's going to say it.
Yeah.
Epstein files. And it happened. Yep, I was right.
Yeah, it's so low. It's just yeah. Yeah, there's so much of that I just ignore now. because I get the same comments over and over and over, you know. And another funny one, actually, maybe you've gotten this too, is you know, I'll post something, a video or a tweet or whatever, and it's, you know, an anti-gay propaganda piece, attempting to lead people away from gayness, and their response is, I'm from Tel Aviv, Israel, and I love your content. I'm from Tel Aviv, Israel, and I love your video. And easily they could look up and see that Tel Aviv is considered the gay capital of the world.
Very
And
Jewish.
what's that?
It's very Jewish thing,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, gay propaganda is very Jewish. And so the people are super confused right now. With, I mean, this whole, like, this gay propaganda has really done a measure on the public, and it's really, really, really confused them. And I totally agree with you. Affirming that their identity of gay is dehumanizing. It would be an insult for us to affirm that identity, to minimize or to reduce them as just this person just likes bungholes. That's who this person is, you know. And we don't.
I don't know the lady, but there's some white blonde girl, and she was on something like Jubilee, where there's like a big circle of people in chairs, and she was sitting at the table one on one with a gay guy, and she was saying something like, "So why do most gay men, struggle with incontinence? Like, why do they have trouble going to the bathroom? Like, why is their anus so stretched out where they have like diseases and problems like with their bowels?" And the gay guy was like, "Well, do you not know how it works?" She's like, "No, tell me. Like, why do you have issues that none of me and my friends have? Is that normal? Anyone?"
You cut out for a second. What did he say? That's what?
He was like, "Well, do I have to explain this to you? Do you know how it works?" And she's like, "No. Well, how does it work? Why do you have problems going to the bathroom? None of my friends have that." Like,
Yeah, explain.
yeah, dude. He's like, the poo poo and the pee pee and the poo poo. You don't get that? That's another part about the we want to promote the gay pride and all this stuff and identity, but like, don't talk about how it actually like functions and works. Like, even they don't want to talk about it. You know, it's just like, we all know what's happening. We all know that they're getting diseases and they're getting problems. Physically.
Totally, yeah. And I think it's important to get down to the nitty gritty, no matter how disgusting and depraved it is, just to highlight because everything's been sugar coated, you know. So I think it's important. Also, you know, I want to make family friendly content at the same time, but at the same time, I mean, we need to be exposing this for actually what it is and dissecting it, instead of sugarcoating evil, pretty much.
And it's like talking about abortion. It's like, you know that they put a scalpel up there and the baby tries to get to another part of the womb to stay safe. It cowers in the corner, and they chop the baby up and pull it out limb by limb. Like, you know, that's how that works, right? Instead of just like, oh, it's a clump of cells. We're just ending a parasite's existence. It's, you know, whatever words, euphemisms you want to use to make it sound like something it isn't.
Exactly. Yep. And that's part of this whole gay propaganda. The gay agenda is socially normalizing it, putting it in the schools and the libraries. We just got another book in Spanish in our house, and in Spanish you have niños and niñas, right? Boys and girls. And now they're saying niñez. So it's like a new gender neutral, you know, way to speak now. And I guess
they having Latinx pride?
What was that?
Are they having Latinx pride?
Latinx? What do you mean?
Yeah, that was from like 10, 12 years ago. Like, they're trying to do the same thing then. They're trying to go from Latina or Latino to Latinx.
Oh.
It was like trying to be the gender neutral.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So burning gay books. Because you're not going to want to get rid of that, give it to somebody else, have it in the hands of another child. So,
Who burned gay books? Who was that? I feel like I've heard of that before.
hey, so I had a comment here. It says, maybe you could answer. How do you see the future? Is it going to be more woke or more Christ based? Let's
Um,
just say in America.
in America, I believe orthodoxy is crazy on the rise. So it might be here in America, we're so much at like the end of the world in the West that there's all these chimeras, different things being blended together, a smorgasbord approach where you can just take contradictory beliefs, doctrines, positions, and just kind of try to make them mold together. I think it's going to be both. I think the wokeness is definitely on the decline really hard, and I think the Christ pilled stuff is on the rise really hard. So I think the ratio is going to go way different. But you have weird amalgamations, chimeras right now of like the super base gays, the super conservative gays who are about all this traditional stuff, but they aren't willing to give up their gayness yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like they see the problems and wokeness and all this stuff, and they're willing. They want to get rid of the trans stuff. They want to get rid of hurting kids, but they're not willing to touch their golden calf yet.
Right. Yeah. And I guess my advice for those people is, start working towards banning gay marriage. Marriage is between husband and wife, and know that is not a good example for the youth or for society to put on. It's literally celebrating sodomy, saying
Yep.
that, hey, putting on a pedestal, hey, these two, like celebrating two men coming together. So it's very, very wrong, the gay marriage, and to have
And
it
it's all dominance. Like they say that's natural. Look at the animals that do it. I'm like, the animals aren't having like monogamous, loving.
comparing gay
Like
people to
if you look
animals.
at the animals, like if you look at rats or something, like if there's two rats in a cage, they're gonna hump each other because one's dominating the other. It's about being alpha. It's not like, oh, they love each. The rats love each other.
Right. This is such a ridiculous argument, and I also get that one very often. And it's people defending gay stuff and at the same time comparing gay people to animals.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, what a self-report. You're saying gays are animals? I wouldn't say that. I think they're human beings.
Yeah,
Hmm.
actually, this one guy said dogs do it. So he's
So are
comparing
you a
he's
dog?
comparing people to dogs, and
Yeah.
in
Well,
in the
that
name
goes
of
back to the atheism, evolution. You are just matter in motion. You have no dignity. You're not made in the image of God.
yes,
Um,
yep, yeah, it
there's no
comes down to
morality.
that.
There's no oughts. There's nothing you should do. It's just whatever you prefer.
Totally, and I love your thoughts on atheism, and I always really appreciate all of the content you put out on exposing atheism. That's like the umbrella. Like gay is an umbrella thing between the whole LGBT thing, but atheism is even a bigger umbrella, I'd
Yep.
say, right?
Yep.
And
That's
it's very dangerous too. So
yeah. I mean, the atheism unlocks the doors for tons of other subcategories to come in.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and history tells us also that, it teaches us about the dangers of atheism, um what that looks like when it's injected into a society where people are, you know, raising children, and in communities. So, oh, I got your crazy face up there.
Yeah, it's right after jujitsu, which people say jujitsu looks really gay, and I'm willing to just bite the bullet. Yeah, like fine, it's gay, whatever, but I can still choke you. I know like 12 different ways to choke you,
Yeah.
and it's not well. Okay, maybe that sounds gay too, but I can still do it. Can't take that from me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, it's like I get called gay all the time for exposing the gay agenda, and I just know what's true, and
Right.
and the reality is most of the time I'm working. I do odd jobs. I do tree work. I'm with my children. I'm with my wife, and that's the reality of life. Online, it's a whole different
Yeah.
thing, right?
Like people
Uh,
take it so seriously. I'm like, well, That was my experience, even like, in 2012, when everybody's taking Facebook super seriously and like, there's an attack in France, people got killed. I'm gonna change my profile picture to have a fridge flag overlay. I would make fun of that, and people are like, you're a monster. You want people to die. I'm like, what do you think changing your flag does anything? Like, that was like virtue signaling before we had a word for it. It's like, I'm making fun of you because you're stupid.
Yeah.
I don't. If you take this seriously, you lose. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and with the gay stuff, they'll no matter what you say, they'll just automatically also jump to, "Oh, you hate gay people." I'm like,
Oh
"Well,
no,
you
yeah, but
can't."
that's a part of the identity, right? Because
Hmm.
it's collapsed into identity. If you disagree, you disagree with who they are. You disagree with them on an ontological level.
Right.
It's not like if somebody has an opinion about politics. Like I have liberal friends, I have gay friends, I have like I don't have to agree with you to be in some kind of community with you to. Well, that's the thing. Like my little brother is like a tranny fascist, or he's a tranny communist, and he gave me an ultimatum. I had to call him by his new name, call him by his pronouns, and I was
Wow.
like, I'm not willing to lie to you. Like, you're lying to me. You're lying to yourself. I'm gonna be trying to be the one voice of reason here in the wilderness to say, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not willing to do that. If you and I want to be in a relationship, I can't lie to you. That breaks relationship.
Hmm.
I I can't have the cognitive dissonance in my own mind to try to change my thoughts, change my speech pattern every 5 to 10 seconds we're talking. That I'm not going to do that.
Hmm.
And he blocked me out. He cut me off. I tried to
Oh,
call
I'm
him for his
sorry.
birthday. He wouldn't
Oh,
answer. It's really hard. I mean, I look at
yeah.
like I love the guy. I
Hmm.
wish he was in my life,
Yeah.
but I wish he was healthy. I wish he was mentally stable. And it's not really here or there, I guess, for the conversation. But it's like if I hated him, I would be glad he's doing what he's doing because he's destroying himself.
Hmm.
I am not glad he's doing what he's doing. It breaks my heart.
Totally.
I wish very much he was in a better place.
Yeah, man, I gotta find something that I disagree on with you. Everything you say, I agree with everything you
Sure, we get
say,
there. I mean, I
and
like metal music.
I
I don't
relate.
know.
Oh yeah, there we go. Well, I relate to pretty much everything you say, and I will admit that I am not, especially with family members. I wish that I was. I I have a few mentors, and one of them, he's 75 years old, but he's running like he's 45 years old, and he's so good at changing subjects and just directing the conversation, even like this, like, hey, you need to call me by my pronouns. He wouldn't even respond to that. It would almost be like he's not going to call them by their pronoun. He's not going to lie to them, but he's so good at just shifting it over to something that's relatable, something that's edifying. He's just, I mean, it's just a master at
I
it.
mean,
And
he probably
I'm
would have done better handling that conversation than me. I was like, okay, well, if you want me to do that, you have to call me Black, and I think you can guess what my pronoun is. And then after that, I was like, okay, well, here, you have to say, you have to cross yourself and say, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, praise Jesus, hallelujah. About every 5 seconds you talk to me. If you don't do that, you hate me. That's what you're asking me to do to you. You're asking me to say something I don't believe in constantly.
mm-hmm. Yep,
Didn't
that
go
is
well.
what's happening there. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. The family dynamics are always the most challenging, at least in my experience. So I'm gonna try and find another one of your. Okay, here's one. So gays could just stop being gay. We kind of already touched on that, but it's a decision
Right.
that
Even
they're
if you're
making.
still feeling I mean, like smokers, alcoholics, they don't, they typically can't go back to it or they binge, right? They still probably get the itch, probably a lot less after they have been sober for a year or two.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
how is that not a parallel?
Yes. Yeah. And addicts, that whether you're a porn addict or an alcoholic, and you're actively not doing that, you are, practicing not being on your phone maybe at certain hours, or you're practicing not driving by the pub where you used to get drunk and things. So the same goes for the gays. They can, not go on the street where they usually go to that gay bar, or not distance themselves from their, the bad influences in their life, and actively working towards not being gay.
Right. And like one going through that, and this may poke holes in my own argument, but this is just me thinking it out. A lot of alcoholics, even if they haven't drank for 20 years, they still call themselves an alcoholic, which I think would poke a hole in my argument of like saying that they're not gay anymore.
Mm.
But I don't know how I actually like. Are they an alcoholic if they don't drink? And
I
haven't
never
drank for 20
resonated
years?
with that.
Yeah, to me that sounds
Yeah,
weird.
and I wouldn't
I
want to
think it's.
refer
I
to
think.
them.
I think if I'm okay, if I'm gonna try to go not use like a word concept fallacy and try to like think out what they're saying I don't drink, right? They're saying if I drink, it's bad for me. If I drink, I can't control it. I can't control myself. So that's what they mean by I am alcoholic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, most times when we use alcoholic, we're saying that person has a drinking problem. This person who has been sober for 20 years is saying
Yeah,
I have a
a
problem.
recovering alcoholic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a recovering gay.
Yeah.
Like I'm actively staying away from all of the gay propaganda, and
Yeah. Sorry, I don't watch Disney. I'm a recovering gay. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of this, talking about this, it's funny. It's also very serious. And,
Yeah. I mean, these are people's souls.
yes. Yeah. And I think, I'm trying to make, funny content around it, to also try and make it a little bit lighter, not so serious. And at the same time, serious content about, the anti-gay propaganda. So we need to also, be light about this.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy for me to do that with this, or even like the trans stuff, even though it's close to home for me. The thing that's really hard for me to do that with is abortion, because you're killing babies. So it's I do get really aggro. I get triggered often about abortion, because like there's times I like, I think about a third of Gen Z was murdered in the womb, and that just feels like so overwhelming to me that like
Yeah.
it can totally ruin my day if I let myself dwell on it.
Mhm.
Like I become detached. I'm not really there with my family even though I'm there. Uh, Makes me feel powerless. Like I'm a man. I shouldn't be. There shouldn't be big babies being murdered in my neighborhood. That has to stop.
Yeah.
I have to. We have to take power and prevent babies from being murdered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to revisit that topic, and I can start feeling my blood boiling a little bit, even just
Yes,
mentioning it,
very much
because
so.
yeah. And
It's like I keep wanting, like I keep feeling like I'm irrationally angry, but there's nothing irrational about it. It's rational to be angry that babies are being murdered.
mhm. Yeah, and the push for it, and actually when we were talking about the gay propaganda, the propaganda piece, I had that same thought about abortion. The propaganda towards abortion, where I live, I've seen multiple billboards that are pregnant question mark, and then below you have a choice.
Yep.
And multiple of those billboards, I've never seen a billboard that promotes having children, or
Right.
or
I mean, if
mother
we were in a
mothers.
just society, I could just go burn that down, and there'd be no repercussion. I would be cheered. I should be like a hero for destroying that.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, and when I said, the umbrella of atheism, this abortion piece falls under that umbrella
And
too.
there's like Western Christianity is like a hotbed for atheism and all this stuff. That's kind of another topic to unpack, but let's just grant it for me for the sake of this. But like lots of like the Enlightenment, for instance, this the Bill of Rights, these positive rights with no obligations, no duties, no oughts. The American freedom, that's just a freedom to be enslaved by your sin. That is a huge hotbed for all of this. Where if you were virtuous and you feel like you ought stop baby murder, then you're infringing on people's rights. You're infringing on their freedom to murder their own children. You shouldn't get a say. Like, they're murdering my neighbors. They're murdering their own children. I don't get a say in that. They're murdering my countrymen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and that's what they say too. My rights, my reproductive rights,
Yep.
and yeah, it is like it does foster that this whole, I guess, postmodern nation we're living in right now with so these so-called rights. Yeah, it makes it look so ridiculous, and we've talked about that a little bit in the past. Uh, and now we're talking about gay rights. It's just, yeah, totally.
Yep. It's just give me all the freedom to destroy myself. I actually just got a DM from a gay like right now. It says I'm a virgin. I've never had gay sex, so there's that at least. I hate being gay. I feel ill. So, I mean, more and more, I'm getting 2, 3 of these DMs a day, basically.
Yeah, and there's a reason why they feel ill with those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts, and those proclivities. Yeah, it's their body telling them this is a big no, uh, and yeah, the propaganda that we need to be showing people is listen to, yeah, this is a shameful act, and there needs to be a healthy amount of shame in our society
Yep.
towards
A
that.
society without shame is not a society. That's one that's falling apart.
Yeah, totally. And it's just crazy how they're calling it Pride Month.
Should be shame month. Should humility month maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not too heavy of a burden, but definitely healthy amount of shame.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, that's what
it
prevents you
has,
from doing degeneracy in public, right? Like the
yes.
the gay guy who's being walked like a dog, naked in the street. That guy has no shame.
Mm-hmm.
He has no
Totally.
dignity. That's the having no human dignity equals having no shame. If you had dignity, you would feel shame.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and it can lead us to, I mean, lead us to repentance and to actual
Yeah, right.
change in our
Conviction.
lives. Mm-hmm. Here's one you said. Trans people, unicorns, leprechauns, dot, 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 all fairy tales. Funny, man.
Yeah. Blending the atheism, just showing that it's they're linked.
Yeah. Uh, ooh, here's a really hot one. Hot take. Gays are bigots.
It's true. I mean, look at all the comments I get. Very bigoted.
The swimming in bigotry. Absolutely swimming in bigotry, and that's my experience.
And they're like, you disagree with me. That makes you a bigot. I'm like, I disagree with a lot of people. Am I a bigot for not liking communism? Am I a bigot for not liking smooth jazz? Like, where does it stop?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Because that's one of their go-tos, also, right? You're a bigot if you, talk against abortion or. Uh,
Bigot pride, dude. I don't know what to say. I got freaking in school suspension in 6th grade when Obama got inaugurated. We had to watch it on the screen and everything. And I was super inundated with like the conservative programming my dad was listening to, Bill O'Reilly, that kind of stuff. So I'd listen to that on the way to school. So I had all the talking points. And I remember like there was all these black guys in class and they're like celebrating the first black president. I was like, yeah, but this is gonna be terrible for our country. Like, do you know what he wants to do? And they're like, are you racist? You don't like black people? I'm like, that. What did I say that made you think? Like, if me not liking Obama's policies makes me racist, white pride, I guess. I got in school suspension for saying that.
wow, that was a while
Affirmatively
back
saying
too.
white pride.
That probably opened your eyes a little bit too. That
Yeah, I was like,
experience. Mm-hmm.
they were saying black pride, like 10 seconds before me. Like, what the heck? I'm the only one in trouble here.
Yes, yeah, and that black supremacy too. Me being in the reggae
I was gonna say you and
world,
reggae, you probably get that a lot.
yes, yeah, and actually, there's a lot of reggae artists that literally say black supremacy, and they push that.
You
uh,
posted about a gay metal band, which is shameful for me, being in the metal scene for so long. Like, if you look at so many metal bands, like their lyrics are really profound. Typically, I mean, not always. Sometimes it's really like phoning it home or just like depravity or gory stuff. That's like grindcore stuff. But I mean, a lot of like a ton of the metal bands, post-hardcore, punk, in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, they're talking about social issues, whatever. They're talking about their own brokenness, their own family upbringing. There's one line that sticks in my head a lot. Um, it's insane the things I wish that I had felt, like the burning sting of a father's belt. So like their lyrics are usually like trying to expose brokenness, trying to expose the damage in their own soul. So having a band that's trying to get people to destroy themselves, destroy their own souls, create more brokenness, that's shameful.
Totally. And that's interesting because yeah, in my experience online, just with the music, I get other artists that are punk artists or metal artists that are haters of my whatever I'm talking about, whatever I'm all about, and there's actually you did see that one video, but there's actually a lot. I've noticed a lot of metalheads. You call them metalheads, punk musicians that are very pro gay and are gay themselves and spouse out gay stuff in their metal
That's
music and
wild, dude.
their punk music. Yeah, and I think that's such a strange like
Which is
mix.
crazy too, especially thinking like punk is prototypically about like fighting the man, about like these big corporations that are enslaving us, propagandizing us, like infecting everyone's minds. And now when it's so obvious that all the corporations, everything up high, trying to get everyone to get in line with them, is about the gayness.
Hmm.
Like, oh yeah, I'm finding the man by saying what the man's saying.
Totally.
Okay.
Yep. 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 Yeah, it's a big issue. I and it's the same with reggae musicians. There's so many. I mean, it's so pro gay now, and as you know, I've got the whole theme going. Reggae is not gay, and I even got the one love but not gay. You've seen it. Uh, because yeah, the whole reggae scene has become super fake, super gay, and reggae music also. There's a ton of of content about exposing political agendas or even pleading to politicians to for justice and in these things. So uh, yeah, this is part of what we're doing, I think, online. And when you say ban homosexuality, I do see it as like a plea to men, politicians that are going to make policies around protecting the society from the gay stuff, the degeneracy, and to cultivate virtues. To cultivate a virtuous society.
Right.
And
I think the ban homosexuality tweet does that, and also does the like pushing the Overton window, showing that there's people who aren't falling to the propaganda, trying to get gays to be able to open up to go, hey, there is something wrong with me. Hey, I do need help. So it's trying to push that on a cultural level too. The similar tweet is like repeal the 19th Amendment, take away women's right to vote. That's very similar, but that one is pretty much exclusively political, because it's about protecting women from the consequences of their own actions,
mhm,
protecting society at large, all the men who are suffering from the effects of women of having political power.
mhm,
Everyone's suffering due to that.
mhm,
That one, I guess, it is pushing the Overton window with that as well, even though like the words themselves are more overtly political, because it's another like golden calf. Like you like, oh, if you have a different opinion, if you think like everyone did for ever until 60 years ago, and you hate women, it's like, no, my wife goes, please make women stop voting. You're a man, make it happen. Like, this is
right,
insane. Like, my
yeah,
wife is way more sexist than me. She's like, I'm a woman. I'm like a child. Please lead me.
yeah, yeah, totally, yeah. Same for my wife. She's seen also how she has been very negatively influenced by feminism and all the feminist propaganda that has been uh, that she's had to maneuver through in life. Friends and family members too that are very feminist, and how destructive that has been in her life. So she can now, glory to God, see right through all of that. Um, and yeah, it's definitely going to be the men that are going to make that happen. Uh,
I do hope we get to a better place. It's just kind of the situation we find ourselves in, that there's all these um, negative fruits, these negative consequences we're seeing of these different ideologies pop up, and they need to be fought against. We need to weed the garden. So like with the gay stuff, with the feminism, atheism, all this stuff, there is like saying one love but not gay. You know, that's like you could say a negative, an attack against something negative, trying to get people pulled out of that negative thing. I hope we get to a place where we like those things aren't necessary because it's just the air we're breathing is the positivity, is Christ, the thing that we assume. Like going back to medieval Europe, where everyone walked by each other instead of saying hello, they said like Jesus Christ be praised. You know, it wasn't like hey stop being gay. It was hey God loves you. You know, like it's just part of it.
Yeah, I also I want that too, and especially now having children and a wife, it's like more than ever I want to be raising my children and not have my wife exposed to all of this feminist propaganda, all the gay stuff. Uh, yeah, I want them to be able to go to the Whole Foods and not have to see so much of the gay propaganda. And people ask me, what's gay propaganda? That's not even a thing. And it's like, yeah, it's even a
Like look
even
under
a
your seat. It's there. It's everywhere.
yes, even a grown man that says I am a gay man, that right there is propaganda. That will
Yep.
raise questions for a child that may be
That's
listening.
asserting the frame that it's that this proclivity, this sin, is an identity they cannot escape.
Yeah, there needs to be a whole relearning of it. I just saw this tweet of yours. It says, gays are tired of the gay agenda. And I've noticed this so much. We kind of just talked about it a little bit, but that's a good step. Gay people that are now noticing, and like you said, it's just become totally blatantly obvious all these big corporations that, have a rainbow flag in their website or whatever. Uh, so people are like, yeah, there is some type of gay agenda. Like there's a lot of movies. There's always has to be a gay guy in the movies and the shows and these things. So that's not good. And yeah, I don't think that gay stuff should be taught to children. I'm going to keep living my gay life, but the gay agenda is not good. And
It
also,
moved one stepping stone closer, right?
it is one step closer. But not just gay people saying that, or people that identify as gay, but men like you and me that are, they're like, oh, I'm against the gay agenda, but, gay is natural or gay is okay,
Right.
and so there's still a lot of that happening. There's a lot of steps that need to take, and they need to be taking. In my opinion, they need to be going faster, especially as my
Yep.
children are getting bigger, and more
My
able.
daughter's 4. She notices everything. So the protecting her, like I think about like the stuff my parents had to deal with or my grandparents had to deal with being parents. It's like it's a lot harder here. Even like crazy, like insane stuff makes you think you sound like you're schizophrenic. Like, oh, my dad didn't have to worry about helicopters showing up on my property and dropping boxes full of ticks that make us allergic to red meat. That's something I have to worry about. But like, who else? Who else had to worry about that? Who else had to worry like, oh, my little brother might be propagandized and think he's a woman and like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it would be such a disservice to just keep quiet about it, especially if you're the voice, and you're in your group of friends or in your church or with your family. I mean, we need to be talking about these things, despite the backlash. Doesn't matter if they say that you're obsessed or that you're gay or whatever, and there's so much confidence in truth too, and you have a solid foundation. I mean, it's like, call me gay all you want, but God knows what's true, and I know what's true, so it doesn't matter. Gay is wrong, and I'm gonna keep moving forward with this message, whether I say it in a funny way, in a creative way, or poetic, or in a song or whatever. It's in my opinion, a huge societal issue that we're living in right now. Say, okay, so it's the Jews, like, so it's them. Who are we dealing with at ground level? I always try and come back to this. What are we actually, yeah, what if the Jews all went away right now? There would still be so much gay propaganda, and there would be so many people still espousing out all the gay propaganda. So That's what we're dealing with at ground level. That's what those are the types of children books that are somehow arriving to my house sneakily. They're always so sneaky about it too, you know, and that's very telling as well, that it's a lie when you have to be so sneaky about it. Uh, and it's very revealing too, you know, that this is actually a very shameful act that's being done right now, and
I mean,
that's
in
this.
schools, I don't know how prevalent it is, but I think in my state, like, 8-year-olds are being taught about masturbation, being taught about sodomy, being taught about sexual positions. Like, how is that not pedophilia?
Yeah, yeah, it is, and it pisses me off. Uh, we can talk about this a little bit longer before I gotta keep
What's a
it.
good analogy for this attacking the propaganda? Is it like a filter? Like the water has been muddied so much, we need a filter to kind of clean it up. Once the water is clean and purified, the filter is not as needed, not as much of a focus. Is it something like that? Is there a better
There you
analogy?
go. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, all in my so it's just like what are we dealing with at ground level, and how can we address it? I know that I'm going to be able to address it to a lot more people if I do so online rather than go to the street and do it, which would also be very impactful. It's something I really want to do with you, man. I want to film you. I want to do some man on the street stuff with you
Do
someday.
some BSX content. We'll get it happen. You got to get to ChudCon. We'll figure out a way to get you to
Let's
ChudCon.
try and yeah, I really hope I can. Really do. Uh yeah, we could do something like outside of an abortion clinic. That could be really powerful. That could literally save some lives, you know, if we were
Yeah.
outside of an abortion clinic. Or I even thought of going in front of one of these billboards that say, you know, pregnant question mark, you have a choice, and just talking about the bill, you know, just being out in public on the streets, very relatable. There's so much content that's happening in the studio, which, you know, is practical, and we have to do that. But going out and being on a street or with other people, when people see that content, there's more humanity there, so it can be even more impactful.
Yeah. Harder for people to just call you gay when you're right in front of them. Like, oh, my wife's, in town. Like, oh yeah, but that's just your beard. You're her beard or whatever. I don't like. You're actually gay. Like, okay, it's like everyone's gay.
Yeah, what I
Is
don't
that
what's
really
a
what it
good
is? Like,
comeback?
how are there still people if everybody's just gay?
Right, yeah, there wouldn't be. What is a good
That was
comeback to
one thing.
that?
A crazy thing was well, I can't remember the exact wording of the tweet, but it was something about like because all these people were attacking me for being gay and like saying horrible things about straights. Like, oh, like, I mean, we need straight phobia, and I said something like about that. I can't remember. You might be able to find it on there,
I think I just
but
saw
it
it.
was basically like if you say you're heterophobic, you actually are saying you want no gay people to exist.
Yeah.
And I had people, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm like, you're saying you don't want more people. You're saying there should be no more people. That means you want no gay
That's
people.
actually what's happening. I haven't thought of that, but that's so true. I just saw it. Heterophobia is an intense desire to end the existence of all
Yes.
gay people. An intense desire. That's so funny the way you put that, and it's so true. Yeah. What?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of times I'm better when I can sit down and like think about. Uh, I'm better doing this sometimes in my wording.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. A good comeback, I guess. You know, with you're gay. What? You don't like gay people? You're gay. You're definitely a closeted homosexual.
You're
You
straight, dude. You're a closeted straight, dude.
know. There you go. But yeah, like how can we say? Are you trying to? Are you using that like as an offensive? Are you trying to be offensive by
Like,
using
seeing
that
I'm
word?
attractive, you like me. You actually really like me, huh?
Yeah, that's so crazy too. The whole coming out of the closet instead of being ashamed of
So you're
the.
saying the default is shame. People put themselves in the closet willingly.
There you go.
You're saying
Man, yeah. Yeah, man, I wanted to talk to you about all of this because I make a lot of this type of content, but I know that you're such a deep thinker, and you can twist it so many great ways that I
Well, the thing
wouldn't have
that's
thought
crazy to
of.
me, like it can make me a little like bored. Like a lot of these thoughts are like they don't really take. I don't feel like I'm thinking deeply. It's just like a reaction. And like so many of the things that people gays say, homosexuals, whatever, or atheists, it's like they'll say something that's so easy to just like flip. Like, oh, there's no such thing as truth. Oh, is that true? there's no cognitive happenings going on in my brain to just see the problem and flip it. And it's really strange to me how many things people say, how many ideologies are just based off of things that are that incoherent that you can, without a thought, see the issue
I
and just
know.
be like,
Yeah.
pinpoint it.
Yeah, it's like a superpower to be able to see all these blatant fallacies, and it's also a superpower to be able to respond in a way that won't have them run away immediately, but something that they can chew on and contend with, and like to keep a conversation going. Because most people, I mean, when you confront them in the flesh, online people are more they're just they won't even respond to you showing them their mere hypocrisy. They won't
Yeah.
respond to that. They'll change the
That's
subject.
me. Like a lot of the atheist stuff, I've just basically reformatted like my old atheist videos. Like if Christians argue like atheists, I would just take comments that people were saying, and I would just change the variables to make their same format, the same argument, as if I was saying it, and then they would argue against that. Like no, like, and then it would be self perpetuating because they wouldn't even see the irony that they're arguing against atheists' talking points. And I'm doing the same thing with gays. I'm taking the direct messages that the gays are sending me, and I'll just copy and paste that and tweet it. And now people are arguing against the gays through me. They don't like often they don't realize it's what a gay is saying,
Yes, yeah,
but
use
they're
their
doing the
same
same
talking
exact thing.
points. Yeah, the hypocrisy has gotten so obvious. I mean, it's so blatant, and it's gotten so inverted that it's very easy to highlight that. They do it themselves. You're right. They highlight it themselves. So, it's crazy. Yeah, there's so many different ways to do it. Like, but what is the most productive way to expose the gay agenda? And one step farther than that, like the you know these people taking on the identity of gay and also
Right.
dismantling that. So
I mean, I'm still figuring that out. I think my hypothesis is that when I start doing interviews with some of the gays that have been DMing me, and if they agree to come on and have like an hour long conversation, if I clip that up and send it out, if because I'm a straight man with a wife and three kids, so anything I say, there a lot of gays or atheists or whatever aren't going to hear it because of my identity.
hmm
Instead of dealing with anything I'm saying, they can just attack me. But if it's a gay man saying the identical thing to as what I'm saying, are they still just going to attack him? Or I mean, he, he doesn't have that target on his back like I do.
hmm
Whatever.
yeah, they're not going to be offended by you calling them straight. Like we can't use that as an offense.
Right.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about that. What were you about to say?
It was just the thought. I think I got it out that if me and a gay say the exact same thing about how homosexuality is wrong, they could attack my identity. But what are they gonna do to say, oh, he's not really gay? Like, what do they, or how are they gonna cope with it?
Yeah. So you said here gay people are all secretly straight, and I wanted to ask you about that because you said you're a straight man, and I know what you mean by that, of course.
You calling me gay?
I mean, I don't identify as a straight man. I mean, I am straight in the sense, like, never had any gay
We don't make an
thoughts, no
identity, right?
proclivities towards any of that. I was actually a womanizer. I was actually struggled with that in life, and then thank glory to God, I woke up out of that and became celibate until I found a woman to marry and to have a family with. But I don't like I don't identify as straight because I feel like I'm playing their game a little
Right.
bit when I do that.
It's such a low. If even if we say it's an identity, it's such a low form of it on the hierarchy of who you are. But I mean, I wouldn't even say it's like a part of my. It's like it's not something you think about. I'm married. I have a wife. I'm dealing with these problems. I'm trying to grow in love with her. I'm trying to be a better husband, a better father. And I'm not
hmm
like, oh, I'm straight, so I have to. I'm not thinking
Yeah.
of it in those terms. Right?
I need to be able to lash this out better because I mean I say some things like there's no gay, there's no straight, I there's man and woman and they can they can reproduce the image of God, and ideally in a marital setting. Like that's pretty much what I
I
say in
mean,
regard.
if there weren't gays, we would probably wouldn't have a word for straight, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's why this is why I'm not identifying as that, or trying to use that, because it's also those. If I say, well, I'm a straight person, then it'll kind of dismantle some of my arguments. Like you've actually chosen that, and so they turn around and say, well, you
Well,
chose to
you
be
wouldn't you chose
straight,
wouldn't you choose to
or
be straight?
you weren't born straight either. Okay, so you say I wasn't born gay. Well, you weren't born straight. I've heard that too. So,
I mean, the being born thing is just sexualizing kids again. So
yep.
self-report. But
Yes.
I mean, I look at it as like health versus unhealth, right? Like my opinion, the way I see it is that homosexuality is just a crippled heterosexuality. Everyone is normal, everyone is healthy until they become unhealthy. So I don't identify as a healthy person. I don't unless like my knee's hurting or whatever. I'm not thinking about my health really. You take it for granted, which is its own problem. But it's not. I'm not making decisions based off of my health. I'd
Mm-hmm.
make decisions based off of my unhealth. If I'm sick, I'm probably not going to go out and about. But
Yes. Health, truth. Truth is a big one too. Like, is what is true? That question. I mean, can just lead you to lead you to Christ. Christ being, the way, the truth, and the life. The truth. And I actually, in my experience, I came to read the Bible and eventually found the church and the faith, through just what is true. Like the truth was my main, like the truth, And then I strongly believe that anybody who keeps truth in mind and goes forward with it, they will come to Christ, and they will find Christ. So, him being the truth. And this will be big too with a lot of these so-called gay people that are starting to wake up about the gay agenda, and then maybe start questioning why they adopted this degenerate identity. And just that question of what is true. Is my lifestyle healthy, right? I mean, is what I'm doing really good for my well-being and all of that? So, yeah.
and I think again, it goes back to atheism, or you could say like a subset of atheism is like libertarianism. I know there's gonna be a lot of like Protestant libertarians that don't agree with that, but I see libertarianism as an outflow of atheism. It's like divorcing spirituality with political life and all that stuff. So, um, I mean, a lot of people, even like straights, would say, "Well, why does it matter to you? Like, let them do what they want in their own privacy, right?" It's like, I mean, if you know anything about sin, my own sin affects everyone around me. Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
A land can only contain so much sin before it overflows.
Mm.
You don't really know much about people. You don't have a correct anthropology if you think that what you do in your own house doesn't affect
Mm-hmm.
everyone around you.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And, another argument against that, two consenting adults, let them do whatever they want in their bedroom. Why are
Yep.
you thinking about that? Whatever.
Well, you
Uh,
must think about that a lot, huh?
yeah. Uh, I mean, comeback is, you've heard this before, is, oh, would you say the same thing about incestuous relationships? Two consenting adults in a bedroom, like, is that an okay thing, a good thing too? And most of the responses is, well, no, not that. So.
Well, Jim Bob has one. It's like, okay, so let's say grandma dies, but before she died, she put in her will that you could sell her body for immoral acts, whatever anyone wants to do with it, you know, as depraved as they whatever they want. So it's she consented before she died, and it's a person and a dead body. Is that okay? Is that
Yeah.
permissible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely not. Shouldn't be. And yeah, just like you said, like your sin contributes to everyone. A lot of these people, especially like these white millennial men my age, Americans, I can see it in their eyes. A lot of these people have some weird porn thing that's going on behind the
Yeah.
scenes, something
Porn
weird
brain is very prevalent.
hmm and a lot of that, is conditioning. They're looking at penises online, and
That was Tiger King. I just watched that recently. I know I missed the bandwagon during the lockdowns, but he got one straight guy to be in a gay relationship with him for years because he was like, "Are you gay?" He's like, "I'm not gay." You look at porn, right? Yeah, I look at porn. Do you like it when the guy has a bigger penis or a smaller penis? He's like, "Well, I
yeah.
guess a bigger penis." He's like, "So
hmm
you're gay? You're at least a little gay." And then the guy was with him for like, I don't know, 6 years, and then he left. And he was like, "I'm not gay. I was just like being manipulated and I was being dominated."
Wow. It's so true. The sin's contributing to everyone, and I know that's taught in the faith too. I mean, this is real, and just how you can see these millennial white beta males, I guess you could say, with their porn eyes and their porn brain, and they're all like people pleasing, and just in the name of I'm so open minded and chill, but there's not going to be there's not going to be connection there, and that's directly affecting my relationship with another human being. Is there's not a connection here. You're all porn brained and eyed out, and same thing with these gays. They're inside their bedroom doing depraved, disgusting things,
And that's
and then
gonna
they're
affect
coming.
how they view people,
Yeah,
how they
and then
view
they come out
themselves,
into the
how they relate to
public.
people.
They're in their bedroom doing all that, and then they go into Whole Foods, and they're around children, they're around families, and their body's still there, their mind is still there. So
And they
of
think
course,
any thought they have is a product of who they are. That their identity is wrapped up in any thought that comes into mind when they see your kids or whatever. Like that is coming from here. It can't come from outside sources trying to destroy you.
absolutely, man. I think these conversations are so crucial, and I want to continue with you. You've got so much to share in regards to all of this. Here's another one. Homosexuality is about depopulation. I've been saying that for years. That
Yep.
is,
That's why. That's a big reason the propaganda exists is to end people's lines.
yep. Yeah, and wow, the depopulation programs, and they're really coming in from so many different angles too, right? And the shaping culture to maintain the population, and certain numbers or whatever is more
Yep.
controllable. And I've been saying that for a long time. And also reggae music it's historically always been about, like, there's so much content around exposing depopulation agendas. So homosexuality falls into that category. Absolutely. I agree. I'm going to read one more tweet from you, and then I want you to plug EWBSX and whatever else you want to. It's go to Divine Liturgy.
Yep. Absolutely. That's the answer to all. That's the prescription. If you're talking atheist, communist, a homosexual, a tranny, whatever, go to Divine Liturgy. That's where the healing is. All these gays messaging me, look into Father Seraphim Rose, read his books,
Mm-hmm.
look at his life. There is a way out. There is healing. It's available. You can just go, dude. It's just there.
Go. Just go. Amen. Yeah, I concur. So, brother, what else, man? EWBSX, there's ChudCon coming up in September, right?
Yep. Labor Day weekend. I believe it's the 4th through the 6th. Tickets should be going live soon. All the promotion should be get out there soon. The poster is just about ready. We're looking at getting different speakers, different musicians, maybe stand-up comics, whoever we can get to be able to get out that weekend. We'll put out who's going to be there. Jim Bob is a positive maybe. We'll see if we can get that locked down.
That would be so cool. That would be so
Said
cool.
that you just gotta check the schedule, but hopefully that's okay. I said that.
That would be so cool. Yeah.
Not confirmed, but it's a
Not
high
confirmed.
likelihood, and you'll know if it's confirmed or not. So
Great. And if there's any of my viewers listening and you're curious about, you want some more information about ChudCon, you can reach out to me directly, and I can give you some more information.
yeah, well, we'll start pushing the social media campaign here very soon. If you go to EWBSX, it's on the Apple App Store, on the Google Play Store. You can look up EWBSX.app, EWBSX, Eternal White Boy Summer Radio. We have a new platform we've been working on for about 8 months now. We're hoping to launch on July 4th. It might be a beta that you have to get a link to join, and then as we hammer out more details, we'll do a full like open launch.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Right now we're still in that like let's see how much we can get done and can we get to a full launch by then. Right now it might be a beta. We'll see, but it's going to have tons of new features. You can make a profile. You can be part of a community there. So go look it up. Follow us on all the socials. Follow our YouTube. Go download the app. We'll have a new app eventually that you'll have to migrate to. But if you're interested in seeing what we got going on, go download the app. Go look our YouTube up.
Awesome, man. You're killing it. You're doing awesome, man. Keep it up. Cool. EWBSA. So you heard it loud and
My
clear.
wife just showed me this meme. If you can see it.
Oh my goodness.
It shows it shows
Yeah.
women parts. It says women, black women, Latino women, Asian women, Indian women. They all have women parts.
Hey, that's
It's
really
trans-
good. That's a good one. And powerful. All right, brother. Well, you have a great rest of the day, and we'll link up again soon. We got to do this again, maybe over on your side. And
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll have a studio by then. Walls are up. Just gotta do siding, finish the roofing,
That's
and then I got
awesome.
electrical and finish work. So should be
Very
soon.
cool. Yeah, save some money on electrical. You can just drill all the holes through the studs, and wherever you want wires put, and you probably know also hammer in those electrical gauges. The little boxes, just super easy. Put it on the stud. You can save some time there for your electrician. Right now, I'm actually building out a little entryway to the bathroom, and I'm about to get off here and go put up a door. So kind of wrapping
I'm
it
gonna get
up.
off here and go do some work on it. So we'll see how far I get.
Awesome, man. Bless. Appreciate you.
All right.
Peace.
God bless. Have a good one.
You too.